How you doing, family? I'm on location down here in Kentucky, and I'm just getting through watching the news and I'm catching the highlights of Donald Trump's speech yesterday. And the little border at the bottom of the screen was saying how divisive and nefarious the speech was. And so I'm listening to the highlights of it, and he's talking about how they want to tear down our monuments, our heritage, how they want to indoctrinate, our children, and I'm sitting here and my face is just, I'm like, is this guy serious? You trying to warn white people of the things, well, the very same things that you done to us. You tore down our monuments, tore down our structures. You indoctrinated our children, twisted their minds. We're to the point now we're so confused and so discombobulated. We continuing to run to everybody else to make our situation better as opposed to running to ourselves. I'm I'm sitting here and I'm like, this can't be real. I'm looking at it on TV. I'm watching him. I'm listening to him, and I'm like, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. And then on top of that, they're talking about the coronavirus, and the official word coming out of the White House is, we're just going to have to learn how to live with it. How do you get from it's a hoax, it ain't real, till you're just going to have to learn how to live with it? Because we're not shutting the country down again. We're not sending out another stimulus. We're not doing none of that. We're just going to have to live with it. So you're going to have to go to work, cover your nose and mouth, continue social distancing for the unforeseen future. Because somewhere in between it's a hoax and you're just going to have to live with it. Now you finally have to admit that you've done nothing in between. Because all the time you were denying the existence of COVID-19, all the times that you were calling it the Chinese virus, all the times that you were blaming the Democrats, saying that it was under control, saying that you did everything, we got a few little hot spots, it's fine. And then now these numbers spiking, you've done absolutely nothing to reduce the risk and get this virus out of here. Because keep this in mind. The maturation process for COVID-19 is roughly about 2 weeks. Once you start feeling the symptoms, it takes you about 2 weeks to go through this virus. Let it run its course. And either it's going to kill you or it's not. So, let's say the people that's infected have 2 weeks to get healed. Everybody else that's not infected, socially distance, self-isolate. You separate the people that's sick from the people that's well. Now there's going to be some sick people that hasn't been discovered yet. But once the people in the hospital, once they come out, then the people that's over here, they come in. Now the numbers should be dropping. So theoretically, after about a month and a half, 2 months at the most, we should be done with it. This thing is still climbing. We never even come out of the first wave. And the reason why is I'm watching TV, and you got people arguing about wearing a mask. Don't question my intelligence if I don't want to wear a mask. This is what the white people are saying. These are supposed to be the superior forms of life, the most educated people in the world. And they're equating wearing a mask to slavery, taking their rights away. One idiot, one clown, one devil sitting up here talking about you're not going to muzzle me like some kind of mad dog. As I've always said, this country has pretended to be everything it's supposed to be. And if you can just throw money at a problem to fix it, to resolve it, they're excellent at that. Shoot and kill you, you won the lawsuit, and they fine. Building collapse, just throw some money at the people, it's fine. But when you have a problem that don't care about how much money you have, don't care about what color you are, what position you hold, now it's going to take some intellect to combat this coronavirus. You got nothing in the tank. No strategy. You got a so-called whole bozo sitting in the White House. Don't want to wear a mask. Want to hold rallies. Exercise no social distancing. But at the same time want you to sign waivers exonerating him. It's just in case you do catch coronavirus. And then you got this Sambo Herman Cain, one of Trump's boys, a week or so after the Tulsa rally, now he's in the hospital with coronavirus. This is so dangerous. And this is why I've always say, I listen to Nancy Pelosi, and when she talk about Trump, she always say all roads lead to Putin. So whatever problem you have with Donald Trump, just about all of it leads to Russia or Vladimir Putin. And once you find that out, once you eliminate that, you eliminate all other problems with Trump. Because he do so much to please this guy. I say about the same thing when it comes to my people. Whatever that's ailing us, whatever that's separating us, whatever that's oppressing us, all roads lead to our self-determination. If we build it, we would just about eliminate all our social ills. It is time that we get to the point where Whitey no longer has the final say on how we live our lives. We don't march, we don't protest, we don't ask. All we have to do is build our own. When you're discriminated against, that means somebody is denying you or limiting your access to essential needs. And as long as you don't create an alternative, you're always going to be in a position where somebody can deny you. Build your own we come together as a people and build our own essential needs, and then no one can deny us. They can't tell you what you can't do for yourself. They can't tell you you can't build your own way because our way is good enough while we're last in everything. It hasn't worked so far and it's not going to work. The only way to get rid of racism in this country is to create an opposing force. And that's a self-determined, self-engineered, self-owned, self-controlled environment that we have for ourselves. And that will push this racist system out of our path. I'm sitting here watching TV and they're talking about the Black Lives Matter movement may be the biggest social movement on the planet. Ask me what jobs have they created. Ask me what institutions do they own. Ask me why are they still protesting? Why aren't they building? If Black Lives Matter, then you better be about building some businesses and institutions to preserve your black life. To keep you from having to go back to somebody who historically has never been on your side. What is the purpose of supporting Black Lives Matter and they're not creating not one job? They're not taking their money and building and purchasing no buildings. They're not creating no opportunities. You're still going to be running to the same businesses and institutions that's been denying you all this time. What sense does that make? Having the biggest organization, the biggest movement on the planet, and not creating no financial institutions, no educational institutions, nothing? What's the point? What are you getting that big for? To do nothing. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is sitting up here at the foot of Mount Rushmore talking about how we're trying to take away their legacy, their heritage. What are we doing as a people? They don't make it no secret. This is a two society system. When you say they and our in the same sentence, you are talking about two groups of people. At least two. And when they're coming out of the mouth of this bozo, he's making it clear he's talking about blacks and whites. And I know a lot of you are in the mindset that we can get through this together. We're stronger when we're together, blacks and whites, but it hasn't worked. There isn't one example of two nations of people building a society that have different ideology, different spirituality, different beliefs, and built one nation where both of them share power and access equally. Name me one. It has never happened, and it's not ever going to happen. But one thing is for sure. We are stronger together. And I'm not talking about with blacks and whites. I'm talking about with our people. Open your eyes. There's been one race in charge of this whole clown show since 1619. And look where we are. It's time we realize that they don't know what they're doing. And we have, as a people, have to take all our ingenuity, our numbers, our economics, and turn that inward and create our own educational institution, nutritional institution, health, political, businesses, and finance our own way of life. It's never been about what they can do for us. It's always been what we can do for ourselves. I'm going to end this message here. And with this video, and with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people. And if you like this message, share it. I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.